Hey now, say now, welcome back to our Angels franchise. Year 2 is in the books and the team still feels like we're miles away from making the postseason after finishing 74-88. We feel even farther away from being World Series contenders like our crosstown rivals. That's right, the Evil Empire has won their 10th World Series this season and remain atop the MLB throne. Today, we embark on an offseason to shore up our ball club and position ourselves among the AL contenders. First order of business was cleaning house when it came to our coaching staff. We fired every single coach with the exception of manager Gabe Thorman, who was hired on last season. These gentlemen will be leading our franchise from a coaching standpoint for the foreseeable future. Travis d'Arnaud was the only retiree worth noting this season. He retires as a 16-WAR player with 130 home runs, also marking we will need a backup catcher this season. Prior to free agency, we have 3 exclusive negotiations to deal with: left fielder Taylor Ward and relievers TJ Antone and Brock Burke. We offered Ward a 2-year, $28 million deal to remain with the team, as I'm not wanting to commit long term, but don't want to lose him for nothing. TJ was a solid Rule 5 pick, but we only gave him a 1-year deal at this time, with me wanting to see what else is available. Brock Burke also received a 1-year deal at this stage, but both declined and elected for free agency. Before throwing money at players outside the organization, we decided to take care of our own. I decided to lock up shortstop Zach Neto long term, signing him to a 7-year, $140 million contract. He's been steady at the plate and well worth the money, being top 10 at his position, so we're going to keep him around for the foreseeable future. Going into the offseason, I knew starting pitching needed to be desperately addressed. I decided to check out the trade market and landed on Twin starter Bailey Ober. He had a really good season for the AL pennant-winning Twins, going 14-5 with a 3.08 ERA, which was much better than most of our staff. The Twins were also in the market for a second baseman, and at this point, I was okay getting off Luis Rengifo. One of the reasons I gave him a shorter deal was to be able to flip him later. He did have a bounce-back season last year, hitting 18 bombs with a 757 OPS, but felt comfortable moving him here for an upgrade at pitcher. We also gave them Eric Fedde in a deal. Hopefully the change of scenery will work in his favor, and we had a deal with the Minnesota Twins. Right after the trade, we also locked him up long-term by signing Ober to a 5-year, $95 million contract, and he will be around for a long time. After trading Rengifo, we had a glaring hole at second base, and I did not feel Christian Moore was quite ready to make an everyday impact. So in free agency, I targeted Jonathan India as our top guy. With the power in the lineup, we need guys to get on base, and India is one of the best in the league, and even showed a little bit of pop last season, slugging .468 and hitting 20 dingers. We also targeted starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff to help bolster our rotation. The 34-year-old starter had a down year with Milwaukee, but has a .353 career ERA and still has solid ratings, holding up as a veteran. After a few weeks of negotiations, Jonathan India signs for 5 years, $75 million. While 5 years might seem like a long commitment for a 30-year-old India with Moore as a top prospect, India does have a skill set that should hold up against Father Time, and Moore could slot at corner outfield, which he played in college. Later, we were also able to get Brandon Woodruff to sign on the dotted line, signing for a shorter 2-year deal worth $36 million. Hopefully, this veteran signing works out better than the Eric Fedde signing last year, but Woodruff should slot in pretty nicely as a number 3 or 4 starter in our rotation. Around the league, we start to see big movement, including Jazz Chisholm signing with our in-division rival Texas Rangers for $180 million. The Yankees decide to replace him with Brandon Lau, signing him on a 2-year, $34 million deal. And Shane Bieber decides to remain in-division himself, signing with Detroit. And Freddie Peralta, who we did give a look at, decided to sign back with the Brew Crew. Ultimately, I decided to not go after Freddie Peralta, as he did get a qualifying offer from the Brewers, and I was not willing to forfeit another draft pick for an aging pitcher. We then pivot to bolster our bullpen, and we get a chance to sign reliever Kevin Ginkel, signing him for 1 year's $8 million deal. And next, we selected Michael Kopech in the Rule 5 draft, who at 30 years old still has an opportunity to make an impact with his high velocity and nasty break. And lastly, we brought back 2 of our own, and Brock Burke signing for 2 years, as well as TJ Antone also signing for 2 years, coming back on relatively cheap deals. At this point in the offseason, we start to see big-time arms signed to our rivals. Tarek Skubal, the top free agent pitcher, signed for 8 years, $304 million with the Seattle Mariners. and Garrett Crochet takes his talents to Texas as he signed with the Houston Astros for 6 years, $270 million. Big name stars signing big time deals with our rivals, and at this time it was time to transition to opening day for season 3. It was opening day at Angel Stadium, and we get first look at the Astros' new ace as they come to the Big A. Our number 1 starter, Sandy Alcantara, looking to make a better impression than last season, which saw him quickly go on the IL after his debut. And Sandy hit the ground running in the first inning, striking out leadoff hitter Jose Altuve, coming back to strike out Yordan Alvarez after allowing a base runner, and then striking out Isaac Paredes to end the inning with 3 Ks to start the game. Garrett Crochet made his debut after getting 270 M's this offseason. He went 10-12 last season with a 3.38 ERA and a K rate of 23.7. However, he did not have a fast start in this one though. First, he hits Jonathan India, our new leadoff man for the season. And then 2 batters later, Mike Trout gets a hold of a fastball on the outside, and he goes the other way. Big fly from Mike Trout as he scored the first 2 runs of the season, hitting a home run off of the Astros' new ace. Mike Trout doing Mike Trout things, picking up off an MVP caliber season from last year. But the Halo bats were not done. Ryan Noda got the start versus the lefty, and he muscles an inside fastball to the left center gap. The ball falls just out of reach of Alvarez's glove. It rolls to the wall, and this is going to score 2 runs for a double by Ryan Noda. Angels tack 4 runs on Garrett Crochet to start the game, and in the 3rd inning, Chester Burton hits a sharp liner to center field that falls down for a single, and that would be the end of Garrett Crochet's debut as the Astros manager decided to pull him after just 2 in a 3rd inning. Angels bats really got after it against the lefty starter here. Very encouraging to see the Angels attack him like they did, and hopefully this will be more to come against some of the tough arms in the division. Unfortunately, Sandy found himself in some trouble in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, Altuve grounds it up the middle. Neto hesitates to tag second, and all runners are saved, scoring a run in the process. Next batter, Jeremy Pena, he's going to hit a slow grounder up the middle as well. This is going to score 1 easily, and then Adele's going to come up throwing, but the throw is late, and that's going to score the 2nd run, and Houston is back in the game. Sandy does bounce back, striking out Alvarez to finally get out of the jam, preserving the lead in the process. Home half of the 5th, Trout leads off, and he's going to hit a fastball the other way, beating the shift as it lands and rolls all the way to the wall. Stand-up double to lead off the inning for Big Mike Trout. Joe Adele was up next, and he's going to hit a chopper between 1st and 2nd for a single. Trout's going to round 3rd and test the throw home, and he slides in safe just in time to extend the lead 5-3. Still in the 5th inning when Chester Burton was up, and he gets a hold of a hanging slider, and he gets all of it. That one goes a long way. Big fly, Chester Burton, 394 feet to plate the 6th run of the game. Sandy came out to pitch in the 6th, but maybe he was on a little too long as Isaac Paredes tags the circle change on the inside of the plate. This one goes into the bullpen, 397 solo shot to cut the lead once again. However, the Angels were not done scoring themselves. Neto was up with 2 outs in the 6th when he slaps a curveball to the gap, plating the 3rd run and getting a double for himself to extend the lead once again. Same score in the 8th inning. Chester Burton was up looking to plate another insurance run as he singles to center. Trout's going to test the throw home. It's not in time, and the Angels put up 8 on the Stros to open the season, and that will be just enough to hang on to win the season opener against Houston. 8-4 was the final score in the Big A. Explosive offense from the Halos as they had 18 hits and handed Crochet an L to open his career in Houston. Exciting start to year 3. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, and we'll see you guys next time here in year 3 in the Angels franchise.